is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here again with my ring bound journal, and I'm just finishing it off and doing some, you know, last minute bits and pieces in it. So if you've seen my ring bound journals before, you'll know that I kind of have like a formula that I really like to always use in the journals, where I kind of have just some blank pages on quite thickish card. So this is like 250 GSM. I mean, it's paper / card, you know, so that it's nice and robust when it's on the rings, but I leave them kind of plainish for journaling. So I thought that I would just come along and do some finishing touches in the journal, maybe add some lace and things like that to these pages. I've got lots of ephemera here which I have been making and decorating and what have you, so I'm going to be kind of stuffing pockets and things like that, and I just thought, well, let's come along and do a few things together. So, I mean, for instance, here, I've got this piece that's, you know, from the kit. And although I did just say I like to leave some free for journaling, I mean, things like this, obviously I would like to get rid of this, ideally, and not have it just, you know, laying around on my desk now. So this would be an ideal piece to be able to actually just put onto one of these pages as like a little pocket. I mean, obviously, these are not going to be a big, robust, you know, pocket. I mean, it's not copy paper, it's thicker. But, you know, I'm not going to kind of overly stuff it, but it will just be an extra sort of place. So, yeah, I thought that we would just come along and, you know, kind of do a few finishing bits and pieces, basically. So let me just clean my glue nozzle up. Okay, right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach this onto one of those pages. And I'll just go straight along, straight along the edge there. I'm going to just have it overhanging slightly so that I can trim it down, because it's actually a little bit bigger than I would have liked, really. So I'm just doing it like that, so I've got the straight edge that I can then use as my guide of where to cut, if that makes sense. And just move that to one side. Okay, so I just then press that down. Oh, again, I seem to have come here without my wipe. Don't know what's going on with me and wipes at the moment, but oh, I couldn't really forget them any more frequently than I am doing at the moment. So, right, again, so I've got some tissue from just behind my desk. So I will just use the tissue for the moment. Just because the tissue's behind my desk, whereas otherwise the wipes involve me standing up and walking across the room, which I'd probably then have to stop the video. So I'm going to try and do this video without stopping it. Who knows? Stranger things have happened, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, so really pressing this down. I mean, obviously this paper's been coffee dyed, you know, this one. So it's got this kind of slightly, you know, crinkly edge, which doesn't then want to lay flat. I have ironed it, but sometimes this just happens anyway. And, you know, it's very hard to get rid of that sort of crinkly edge, really. So yeah, I'm just kind of pressing it really well. Oops, I've torn the paper. Oh, honestly, what is wrong with me? We've only just started the video. What was I saying about not wanting to have to stop it? I might have to stop it because I'm now mucking it up completely. Right. So just cut that down there on that edge. Okay, so that's my pocket there. Okie dokie. Don't know if that's very straight on there now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, right, let me just try and straighten that up. Okay, oh my gosh. Just making this worse and worse, to be honest. I think I should probably leave it. I don't think it's helping because I've not got an even edge here. Right, okay. Okay, it's another how not to video, I'm afraid. So, yep, we've only just started and already it's becoming a how not to. So, yep, that's that one. And obviously we can then just tuck something into there. So I've got a few journaling cards from the kit, which I've cut out ready. So I could just pop some of those in like that. So although we've lost journaling space here because of this pocket, we've obviously gained it back here with our journaling cards. So, you know, technically, I guess we've kind of actually gained space because these journaling cards are bigger than this piece that we've covered up, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to ink up round the edge. Obviously, I don't really need to ink this piece because this is, you know, coffee dyed already, but I'm just going to just ink up here. So like that. Okay, and just around the edge basically. And then what I might do is I've got some pink ruffle, so I might add some pink ruffle, she says. Now, where did I put the pink ruffle? I'm so sorry about this. As usual, it's the usual thing. You come along and you think you're so organised, you know, because you've pulled everything out. And then honestly, you switch on the camera and lo and behold, everything kind of disappears and you can no longer find things. And it's just, oh, how it seems to go every single time that I do a video lately. So I do apologise. Yep, I've got no idea where that pink ruffle has disappeared to now. It will obviously suddenly appear, you know, after I finish the video and I'm no longer needing it. I've also got this pink lace, so I might just kind of edge this pink lace down the edge of this page. It's, you know, just a kind of subtle sort of decoration, I suppose, on the edge of the page there. Because although I want to leave the pages plain for journaling, you know, I don't necessarily want them completely, you know, completely plain to the eye. So just doing things like this, you know, you're then leaving the page completely blank for journaling, but you're also adding something just, you know, pleasing to the eye really. So just, okay. That looks pretty. So, I mean, that's one page done. Now, I also really like to always put those hole reinforcers down on ring bound journals. They just, you know, the perfect way to finish off your pages, I think. So what I normally do is take a whole sheet. Now, I just buy my hole reinforcers from a supermarket that we have here called Sainsbury's. You know, I've bought them in other places as well, but it's just that my local Sainsbury's happens to have some that, you know, I think they're £1 for loads of them, maybe like, oh, I don't know, maybe 10 sheets or something like that. They're very cheap anyway. And yeah, it's just that that's my local shop that kind of sells them. So I just kind of buy them and then I just ink up the entire sheet. And again, not being too fussy. So you might get some that are paler, some that are darker and things like that. And then all I'm going to do, they are stickers, you know, they are kind of adhesive. But I like to glue them down with some glue. I just never trust stickers to actually stay stuck down, to be honest. And, you know, it's kind of silly really, but yeah, I always think, well, they're going to lift eventually. So I just like to glue them down with a bit of extra help really, or stick them down with a bit of extra help with the glue. So like that. And I mean, don't they just finish off the page really lovely? They look gorgeous, don't they? And, you know, to be honest, not only do they look really pretty, but like I said, I mean, this is thicker paper. It's kind of 250 GSM. But by also putting the reinforcers on, you know, you're just strengthening it slightly more. I mean, I'm not saying it necessarily needs strengthening because, like I say, it is, you know, reasonably kind of thick. But it doesn't hurt to just, you know, have that extra sort of reinforcement, does it? So I'm still looking for that pink ruffle, would you believe, because I really would like to put it on here. So let me just see whether I've trapped it in amongst some of these pages of the journal itself, because I suspect I have. It's the only explanation, unless it's dropped on the floor. So let me just check beneath my seat in case it's dropped off there. Nope, can't see it so far there either. Oh, that is so annoying. Right, okay, well, I can't find the pink ruffle, but when I do find the pink ruffle, I'll probably just put some down here. So, there we go. Right, let's bring on the next one. So, again, I mean, I just want to add something tiny, you know, something kind of decorative. So, might just take, for instance, this. I will just cut this out. You know, we just really don't want, you know, a whole bunch of completely plain pages. I mean, anything will do here. Stamping, maybe some stenciling or something. Or, you know, I mean, if you've got, like I've got here, a bunch of kind of fussy cuts that actually, you know, they're going to be otherwise laying about on your desk. This is just a lovely way to actually finish off those pages. So, again, I'm just going to take a little bit of lace. I mean, it's pretty on its own, but just by adding that extra bit of lace, it just looks so much prettier, doesn't it? So let me just cut that down because I've got a bit much there. And then all I will do is trap that lace under there with the hot glue. So like that, and then just hot glue around on the whole piece like that, and just glue that down. Super, super pretty. And then again, just go in with my glue, put my whole reinforcers down. Like that. And then I tend to sort of bunch my, you know, plain pages together. There's no reason why you couldn't do them, you know, what's the word? Like spaced out, basically, in the journal. I haven't really ever done that, and I couldn't really say why. I don't know whether actually, sometimes I think it's better to have them all clumped together, because if you've got just pages that are sort of plainish like this, next to, like, say, a bumpy page that's quite heavily embellished, it might not damage your page, but, you know, cause your page to bend slightly. So that's why I've tended in the past to always bunch them together. Sometimes I put all 10 together, and sometimes I'll put, I'm just getting a little bit more lace here, and sometimes I will put, you know, just maybe 5 and then 5 in another position. Yeah, I don't know really. I don't know whether kind of putting them spread out, you know, in singular pages, or, you know, you could guess you could put them, I guess, like double pages or something, you know, a couple of pages, and then, I don't know, I might play around with that maybe in this journal. So just to kind of mix it up and do something a bit different. But I think definitely the addition of the plain pages is a really awesome way to get some extra journaling space into a ring-bound journal, because I don't know about you guys, but the reason I love the ring-bound journal so much is because, of course, you can really, really go to town with your embellishing, you know, because obviously you've not got the issue of, oh, it's getting a bit fat or anything like that. You know, so you can really kind of do a lot more than you can with a more conventional journal. But you then might, you know, might end up with a situation where you maybe wouldn't have so much journaling space. I might put it on this edge, actually. I don't very often put them on the inside edge, so let's do something different. Yeah, you might end up with this sort of situation where you actually haven't got much journaling space. So that's why I like to add the plain pages, because then you can really go to town with your decorative pages, but you haven't got the worry of, oh, now I've got no journaling space, because you've still got, you know, a whole area where you have got journaling space, if you see what I mean. So I'm just putting another glue stick into my hot glue gun like that. Okay, let's bring in another one. Okay, so I mean, you could also just kind of paper clip some bits on. So I might just grab a paper clip here. Oops, let's just reach in. Oh, come on. Okay, so might just fold this one down and just ink around this. So again, this is just a piece from the kit. Just then, you know, really ink it up kind of on the folds and at the edges. I have coffee dyed this, but I only coffee dyed the back, and I just kind of coffee sprayed it. I was doing my lazy coffee dyeing for this, so yeah. Okay. Like that. And then just pop this one down, paper clipped on. I'm not even using a, you know, decorated paper clip. I'm just using a plain one because it looks obviously, you know, pretty enough with the, you know, this paper here. And then again, might just add like a little bit of lace or something at the bottom. So let's just see, maybe just even add a bit here like that. You know, just something like really, really simple. So let's get my glue gun. like that. And then again, just go in with my hole reinforcers. Oops, sorry, got glue threads there, dragging across. Okie dokie. And that one. Like that. Okay. And actually I've just kind of had another thought. Oops, now I've torn that on the paper clip. Oh gosh. I've just had another thought actually that I'm now thinking might just put a little bit of this lace trim right across the top of here, because that would kind of tie it in really nicely. So again, I'm just going to hot glue that. Obviously you could you know, stitch it on or anything, but again, I mean, I'm just doing this obviously for speed because doing the video like that, and we'll just trim that down. We'll just trim it down here as well, and that's just going to make it look slightly prettier still, being clipped onto the page there. So looks lovely, doesn't it? Okay, and on the back of there again, let's do our hole reinforcers like that, and then another one and another one there. Okay, and looks super pretty. So here I've just got these little bits here from you know, another kind of digi, so I might just pop that one down there. Now these have been printed using the chip paper. I recently bought some chip paper, and I think I found it when I was searching for newspaper paper. Yeah, newsprint paper. I think it came up then. I got it from Amazon, and it's, you know, the paper that they wrap your fish and chips up in. It's that stuff. I mean, I have to say it was very cheap. I was going to say cheap as chips, but I mean, that's just a terrible mum joke, isn't it? But I couldn't resist it. Yes, cheap as chips, this chip paper. But I wasn't quite sure when I first got it, but I thought, oh, it's going to be great for like ephemera type pieces. It is, you know, printing off things like these invoices on it. It's really great. The only thing I will say is I had quite a few problems actually getting it to print, because of course it's very, 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 very thin and very flimsy. And so the printer was, you know, I can't lie, not overly loving it. So it took quite a few tries to actually get it to, you know, to print off kind of thing. Like, yeah, I've had lots of pieces that just got jammed in the printer, and I had to keep on, you know, pulling them back out. And then for some reason, just suddenly I had like a few sheets that, you know, did work, but it came in massive, massive sheets. I can't remember what the measurements were, but huge, like way bigger than A3. Yeah, maybe more like sort of A1 or something. I mean, they weren't categorized as that, as I say, because of course they were, you know, that chip paper, but you know, they did come in very large pieces. And yeah, I cut it down obviously to like printing size, so like A4 size, and then, you know, ran it through my printer like that. But like I say, you know, it wasn't overly happy taking it. So yeah, just something to kind of be aware of there. Right, I've just got this little piece here, so I might just pop this in on the corner. Just wondering whether I want to go right into the corner, more like that, or whether we want to still have it, yeah, I might just have it kind of placed out from the corner like that. And again, just going to use my hot glue. Oops, I don't think that laces up the right way. There we go. I mean, it really doesn't matter that much, but you know. Yeah, so once I got it printing, obviously I was really chuffed with it. At first I thought, oh, what a waste of money this is. Having said that, obviously it's got a wonderful feel to it because it's very thin. I'm not sure I could coffee dye it, you know, again for the same reason, because it's very thin and fragile. But, you know, it really is quite sort of good stuff. And I thought, well, actually it makes a lovely paper to make like flippy pads and things like that. So I've made a few things using it to put in this journal. It's kind of my first, I think, time of using it. Yeah, I think this is the first journal that I've kind of used it for anything, because I don't think I've bought it previously. But yeah, I think it's going to be nice because it's just another different texture, and we like, you know, we like having different textures, don't we? So yeah, that was my most recent purchase. But like I say, just to be aware, it is very, very, you know, temperamental, let's just say, when you're using it to print. So I might just run a bit more lace down the edge here. Oops. Okay. Like that. Okay, so I mean, my pages really are staying, you know, pretty much plain for journaling, which is awesome. And then I'll just get in this one and again just reinforce those holes like that. And I guess we might be able to put some sort of pocket or something on this one as well. So let's just have a look and see what we've got that I can just use. Oops, that's got a very pale hole reinforcer there. So let's just ink that up a bit. Right. Okay, let me just bring in the pieces in the kit and see what I've got. Oh, I've got this gorgeous frame. Should we do that? I'm thinking that would be quite nice. So just cut it off to make it a bit smaller to work with. Okay, well, I might have to pull my glasses on. So again, I mean, obviously this looks quite daunting and, you know, off-putting to cut. What I would always say is anything like this, nobody really knows, you know, how this was shaped, if you see what I mean. So just do your best with cutting it out. You're just wanting to give it a fancy edge. You know, no one's really going to be kind of scrutinise it unless it really looks appalling, which, you know, it's not going to. You know, just do your best kind of going round the lines and, you know, don't worry too much about it. Like I always say, I think personally circles are the world's worst thing to cut, and you know, no one's going to forgive you for those, are they? Because of course the circle's going to be very, very obvious if you get that wrong. So yeah, something like this, which, you know, looks off-putting, I actually think is probably not going to turn out quite as off-putting as you think. So again, just go in here at those edges, and then, you know, even better is once you've cut it out, you know, to just kind of give yourself a little bit more you know, forgiveness. We've got here these like white bits, so just going with your ink, just completely disguise that, and yeah, just then looks completely, you know, as it should be, perhaps. Who knows how it should have been. So like that. And I might just put this one straight down here, like a little pocket at the bottom, or I guess we could have it in the middle. Might be quite fun to have it in the middle, really. So again, I'm just going to hot glue this on just for speed. Yeah, and I'm just going to put it on in the middle because, you know, that's kind of something a bit different. Seems like the obvious place is just to pop it on at the bottom. So, you know, why not do something a little bit different and put it higher up. Got here one of those little flip outs, which we could just tuck in like that. Quite nice, isn't it? And actually I'm now thinking what the flip out needs is something on the end, maybe a butterfly or maybe even a rose. Actually maybe the rose. So I'm going to cut, I think, the leaves off. Might leave these ones on, we'll see how it looks. You know, and again, I mean, it's okay to you know, do your own interpretation of things. So if you want to cut the stems and the leaves off of something, just do it, you know. You don't have to kind of use things exactly as they've been, you know, produced. I mean, that looks absolutely lovely now. Just again, ink it to, you know, forgive myself a little bit more. Yeah, so I'm going to just have it like that. So again, just going to put my glue right on the end. And just pop that down there. just need to be careful that I don't glue it to the frame beneath, because as we know, that's something I seem to do frequently. I never learn my lesson. So, I mean, how cute does that look? And I'm just going to trim it up slightly more so it's, you know, slightly easier to get in and out that pocket. So, like that. Okay, looking good. And in that goes. Like that. How lovely is that? And obviously, you know, you could use a paper clip there, but yeah, I don't think it necessarily needs one. So looking really pretty, isn't it? And then here we'll just do the last reinforcing of the holes. Okay. So, I mean, you know, I've done 5 of the pages, so that's 10 sides, you know, 5 pages, 10 sides, you know, through this video. And like I say, I generally have like 10 pages, which is like 20 sides. So we're halfway there already. I'm just looking, I think, yeah, it's taken about half an hour. By the time I finish this one, it will have taken about half an hour. So, I mean, you're looking at around about an hour, and then you will have, you know, decorated up all of those blank pages to some form, you know, to some extent they'll be decorated up. So, you know, it's not kind of the biggest investment in your time, and it does make, you know, does make a difference, I think. Just thinking on this one, I might just take a butterfly. Yeah. You know, for not the biggest kind of commitment on your time, it all adds to the sort of finishing touches, doesn't it? And, you know, makes it just look pretty and finished off. I mean, of course, like I say, you could easily put them in there plain. But, you know, for the sake of an hour, I mean, unless you want them plain, which of course sometimes, you know, sometimes plain is better. I mean, this particular journal, I just want it to be really, really, really girly, really, 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 really pretty. But, you know, sometimes plain is actually the kind of look that you're going for. So, you know, you can just please yourself. Okay. So that's that butterfly. And again, let's just ink that up. Okie dokie. And again, might just have it on the inside rather than the outside edge. Like that. That's looking gorgeous. Okay, right, let's just pull in the journal. Now, I haven't put the journal on the rings yet or anything like that. And I haven't done the, you know, I haven't 100% decided on the format of the pages, or, you know, the order, sorry, of the pages. So, you know, I might vary it sort of slightly yet, but this is kind of the basis of it. So, I mean, obviously, like I say, I tend to put them in a clump. And what I tend to do is, you know, like if I've got 2 pages that, you know, I'm debating, oh, you know, are they perfect together, or, you know, do they not go perfectly? Like, say, these 2 for me, they look okay. I don't know whether I definitely think that they're the best match on the planet. So for me, this would be the perfect place to then slot these in, because it just breaks it up. And then obviously, you know, you haven't got that as an issue anymore. So I would put in the whole 5 pages here as a sort of journaling chunk, if that makes sense. I mean, like I say, you could put them in singly. Oops. Yeah, singly. So let's just say I was to put in this one. I guess what I was trying to point out earlier, the problem is, like here, I've got quite a bulky kind of piece. And if you've got it against a, you know, a single sheet like this, I feel that that's a vulnerable point that you could end up bending that page. But, you know, I don't know. I haven't ever put them in singly, like I say. So, you know, it's worth playing around and experimenting. But definitely for me, I think putting them in a chunk, you're creating like almost like a robust, you know, section, if you like. So, you know, it might damage slightly, you know, you might bend slightly one of your pages, but you're not going to bend and compromise the entire amount, if that makes sense. So, you know, it's worth playing around, but definitely for me, I think, you know, I do tend to quite like them in a big chunk like that. So yeah, so I hope that there was something useful there, and I hope you like how the journal's coming along. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.